Welcome, dear students. Let me introduce myself. I am Santosh Kumar Jain from Department of Commerce, and I thank Board of Intermediate for giving me this opportunity to teach you all the very beautiful topic depreciation. So let us continue with the topic depreciation. First and the foremost, I would like to tell you that this term depreciation is not new to you all. Already you have come across this term in your intermediate first year while you were learning the topic called final accounts. There we saw the term depreciation as one of the adjustments which we were giving while preparing the final accounts. That was only, I can say, it was like a nutshell. But today we are going to see why the depreciation comes, why we are supposed to calculate depreciation, and above all that, what do we mean by the term depreciation. So first let me give you the chapter outlay. Here I gave you the problem models. In the sense, 4 models are there. First model is how to calculate the annual depreciation and rate of depreciation. Last year you saw directly in the adjustment we were given charge 10% depreciation on plant and machinery. How we got the 10%? That we are going to calculate in this particular situation and year. The second model I gave you how to prepare the asset account under straight line method. Asset account, keep in mind, real account. Last year we did personal account for 5 marks. In the similar manner, this year we are going to prepare real account, that is asset account. And for that we have 2 methods of depreciation which are prescribed for Board of Intermediate. One is straight line method, and in the model number 3 I have mentioned diminishing balance method. And in the 4th model we will be learning how to account when we sell the asset, that is sale of asset. These are the 4 models we have grouped for this chapter. Now coming towards the focus on the subject. First and the foremost thing, it is very important for everyone to know certain theories before we start doing the problems. It's not that directly to jump into the problems. So we learn basic theory in this particular session. So first theory what I would like to teach you is the term depreciation. Meaning of the word depreciation. The word depreciation is derived from the Latin word, keep in mind. It comes from the Latin word which is depreciation. And here when we split the word, D means decrease and precium means the price or the value. Cost also you can call. So when there is a gradual decrease in the fall of any asset, which asset again? We have to insist that it is only on the tangible fixed assets. Now what do we mean by tangible fixed assets? Tangible fixed assets are those assets which have certain physical existence. Say for example, plant and machinery. Say for example, furniture. All these assets which we use in business for production purpose or for rendering services, slowly they decrease in their value. And gradually when they decrease in their value, we say that they are declining in their value. And that particular aspect of reduction in the value of an fixed asset is called depreciation. Let me give you a simple example to make you understand. When a baby is born, when a newborn baby comes to the house, the very first day it has got lot of value in the family. And day by day, what happens? Gradually the value of that particular baby, it decreases. It decreases. Why it decreases? Because we know what is today, it won't be tomorrow. In the similar manner, even the value of any asset which you purchase today, it may not remain same after few days, few months or few years. Why the value changes? Because we are using it constantly. We are using it constantly. Or it may become obsolete, in the sense it may become outdated. Thereby, any fall in the value of fixed assets with regards to the usage, obsolescence or accident can be called as depreciation. Then there are various definitions given by various authors. Like for example here, when we see Spicer and Pegler, he defines depreciation as a measure of exhaustion, he says. He says it is a measure of exhaustion, and that exhaustion also what? The effective life of the asset. These all terms I am going to cover in the next part now. Now, let us go to the another part of it. The next, what we are going to see. Associated with depreciation, we come across different terms. The meaning is same, but usage of the term must be properly done. As I said, depreciation is the decrease in the value of an asset. Which asset I told? I told about intangible fixed asset. In the similar manner, we have various other assets, even they decrease in their value. So how we are going to find out the depreciation? Those terms or those concepts we are going to learn. And the first term what would I like to explain you after explaining the depreciation is depletion. Depletion. Just let us go back for a while to our intermediate first year chapter, industry. There we have studied one type of industry which was called as extractive industry. And what we did from that extractive industry? From that extractive industry was nothing but concerned with extracting of raw materials from the mines, quarries and all. And in the similar manner, when mines, quarries or any of your natural resources, from there if we take out any raw material, constantly if we take out raw material, what will happen? They will get exhausted, and that exhaustion is called depletion. We cannot use the word depreciation. It is similar to depreciation, but the correct word is depletion. Then comes the second one called obsolescence. Obsoleteness also we call it as obsoleteness also. In the sense, some assets, they become outdated. Why? Because of the change in fashion, change in technology. Let me give you a simple example. 10 years back, which TV all we are using? We all were using the shutter model TVs. And today what we have? We have the smart TVs. What you will say? Sir, that particular model has become outdated. In the similar manner, if you take the simple example of your phone, you had Nokia keypad phone, and today we are using what, sir? We are using all smartphones. Like that, even assets, they become outdated because of the change in the fashion or technology. That is called obsolescence. Then comes the next one. Very interesting topic as well as important for your examination also. Amortization. I told you tangible assets. One more classification of assets is what, dear? It is intangible assets. Like your goodwill, patents, copyrights. They all are the legal assets we call. They all are legal assets. And what happens to those legal assets? They come into existence because of the operation of law. And these assets, they are not visible. You cannot see them. Goodwill you cannot see, patent you cannot see, copyrights you cannot see. But they help you to earn profits. And they are usually taken on the lease basis. And these assets also, they get reduced in their value. That time we cannot say, sir or ma'am, we are depreciating it. We use the word called amortization. We use the word amortization. In that way, for intangible assets, we use the word amortization. Then comes the next important aspect called dilapidation. Dilapidation. Very important term. As I told you, in case of intangible asset, we use the word amortization because there is gradual decrease in those assets. But sometimes you go for taking the fixed assets on rental basis, lease basis we call. Nothing but you take on rental basis. And it so happens that there may be some damages in the asset. Some damage is caused to the asset. Those damages we call as dilapidation. We call them as dilapidation. So these were the terms which are interrelated with the term depreciation. Now we are going to see the next is the characteristic features of depreciation. What are the features of depreciation? So depreciation, as discussed in the meaning, is the reduction in the value of asset we see. So reduction in which value now? Book value. Which value? Book value of that asset. And that asset which decreases, the decrease in that particular asset is always gradual. Keep in mind, it is gradual. All of a sudden the value of asset will not decrease. Gradually, in the sense slowly it will decrease. And that decrease will continue to decrease till the end of the life of the asset. So we say that depreciation is a process of valuation of asset. Keep in mind, we say it is the process of valuation of asset. What is the valuation of asset? Say for example, you bought one asset for 1 lakh rupee. After 2 years, what is the cost of that asset? What is the value of that asset? That we are going to know with the help of depreciation. So we call it as the process of what? Not the valuation, but we call that as the process of allocation of certain amount of depreciation. Then how this depreciation is accounted? Where to charge the depreciation? Again, I would like to take you for a while to our first year. Adjustment we did of first year. What we used to do? One, we used to subtract from the related asset in the balance sheet. Later, the second effect where we used to go? We used to take it to the profit and loss account. So what we say? We say that it is a charge to the profit and loss account. And one thing, it is mandatory. Compulsory, one should charge depreciation. Any business organization cannot deny telling that we are not going to calculate depreciation, because according to Income Tax Act of 1962, it is essential that every asset should be depreciated and every business organization should claim for depreciation. That is according to section 32, which we all will study when you will go for upper classes. Then what will happen? This depreciation, it will occur unless there is physical deterioration, or it will occur because of technological changes and all. Like this, we have the features of depreciation. Now, next we'll see why the depreciation comes. What are the reasons why this particular depreciation is coming into existence? So, to start with, I said you the example of the TV, LCD TV, smart TV, keypad phone and your smartphone. With this, we can make out that there are some reasons why the value of asset decreases. So first is the use of asset. When you purchase an asset, you are not going to store it in the locker or the godown as it is. Constantly we will use. And what is that use of asset called? In our accountancy term, we call it as wear and tear. Nothing but, in simple language, if you take, when you buy a shirt, what will happen? That particular shirt, are you going to keep in the almara like that only? No, we are going to wear it. Whether you buy the shirt of 10,000 or you buy the shirt of 100 rupees, you are going to use it constantly. We are going to use it constantly. So use of asset leads to wear and tear, and the value of asset will deteriorate, decrease. Then effects of time, nothing but passage of time. Passage of time. There are certain assets which have expiry period. They have a certain life only. As I gave you the example of goodwill, patents, copyrights. They have only a limited period of life. And as the time passes, they deteriorate in their value. Don't get confused with the passage of time and obsolescence. There is difference. Hairline difference is there. Third reason is obsolescence. Third reason is obsolescence. We know day by day, the technology is improving. Previously, we had landline phones. After landline phones, we got WhatsApp. We got the smartphones? No. In between, we got what? Pagers we got. After pages, what we got? Normal mobile phone we got. And today we all are using what's a smartphone. Like that, change in technology. And why the technology changes? The reason is because of innovation. Because of change in innovation. Many innovations are taking place, and that leads to what? That leads to change in the value of asset. If I want to give you today free of cost one keypad phone, will you accept? No, you will tell, sir, this is obsolete phone, sir, this is outdated phone, sir. Like that, the value of asset also decreases. And other reason is what? Other reason we know, there is every possibility that there may be some sort of accidents in the business or in the industry or whatever. And what are those particular accidents because of? They are because of the natural calamities, you can tell. Like, did we expect the pandemic this year? No, we never expected. But because of pandemic, what happened? Many industries were closed due to lockdown and they got rusted. In the similar manner, there may be the short circuit in the industry. There may be certain other reason where the machine may break down. The parts of the machine will break down, and that will lead to what's a? That will lead to decrease in value of asset, which we call as accident. Like that, use of asset, passage of time or effects of time, obsolescence and accidents. These are the reasons or the causes for depreciation. Generally for 2 marks they ask you. Generally for 2 marks they ask you, what are the reasons for depreciation? Then these 4 subheadings if you write, it will go. Sometimes for 5 marks also they may ask you, explain the reasons for depreciation. Then with explanation if you write, hope you are able to see the PPT. So the same content if you write, you will be awarded 5 out of 5. Now moving towards the next part called objective. Purpose what we call, need we call. Why depreciation is to be provided? What is the reason to provide the depreciation? Then first thing is we want to know the correct profit or loss, because depreciation is also treated as an expense. Maybe it is not a monetary expense, but still because of the legal provision I told you, as the Income Tax Act section 32 is insisting to charge depreciation so that we can get the correct profit or loss. Apart from that, we want to show what is the right value of asset, correct value of asset. I mean to say the true value of asset in the balance sheet. Because what we purchase today, it may not remain same tomorrow. So we have to show the true value of asset. And what will happen because of that? We can give the fair and true view of the financial position. Financial position we are talking in the sense, in the balance sheet, the correct picture of the asset can be shown. And sometimes even this depreciation, it will help you to find out the amount which is required for the replacement of the asset. As I told you, expiry, I told you, every asset has an expiry date, expiry life we can call, or a particular life. And what is supposed to be done? After that expiry, we are supposed to replace the asset. So we need to make proper arrangement for that amount. For that purpose also we calculate depreciation. Now how that replacement amount is to be calculated, that I am going to teach you in the methods of recording depreciation. So what are the objects now? Object is to find out the profit or loss, to show the correct and fair value of the asset, to show the true and correct picture of the financial position, to make necessary arrangement for replacement of asset, and to fulfill certain legal provision. Which legal provisions I told you? As per the Income Tax Act, it is mandatory. So legal provisions. Now moving towards the next part, which is all about the methods of providing depreciation. There are two methods of providing depreciation. Be careful, don't get confused with charging and recording. Okay, now we are recording in the sense how depreciation can be accounted in the books of accounts. So we have two methods or two ways of recording the depreciation in the books of accounts. One method, the first method, is where depreciation is directly charged to asset. Second, what we do? We create one provision. Rather than charging asset depreciation directly to the asset, we create one more account which is called provision for depreciation account. Sometimes we call it even as accumulated depreciation account. That two methods are there, but concerned to your intermediate level, we follow the first method. That is, only the depreciation is directly charged to the asset. So let us learn about the first method now. And what is the first method I told? Depreciation is charged to asset account. Depreciation is charged to asset account. So here, if you see, when depreciation is charged to asset account, one of the feature I told you, depreciation is charged to profit and loss account. So here what we are going to do, we are going to prepare only one account called asset account, and in that we are going to charge depreciation. We are going to charge depreciation. And what will be the journal entry for charging depreciation? First we have to charge and then we have to transfer. So there are two journal entries which you are supposed to know. The first entry is depreciation account debit to asset account. Depreciation asset account debit to asset account. Let me explain you with the rule now. Depreciation, it is coming under nominal account, and rule of nominal account says that debit all expense and loss. So we have debited what now? We have debited depreciation account. To which account? Asset account. Credit what goes out. So here what is happening? Since there is decrease in the value of asset, we are thinking that the part of asset is going out. Physically it won't go, just for the entry purpose. Now coming towards the second entry, if you see, what we see? The second entry is to transfer the depreciation. We know the rule. We know the rule that at end of every accounting period, we need to transfer all the nominal account balances to which account? Profit and loss account. So on that principle, we transfer depreciation to profit and loss account. So what is the entry? Profit and loss account debit to depreciation account. This is first method. Now in the second method, what we are going to do? In the second method, what we are going to do? Of course, this method is only given for the theoretical purpose in the textbook. But as a student, we are supposed to know the concept. So here, in the last method, what we did? In the last method, we have directly calculated depreciation to the asset account. But here we will not charge directly to asset account. For that, we'll create one provision account. We'll create one provision account. That is called accumulated depreciation account also. And in this method, asset will remain at its original cost in the value. That is in the books. Along with that, we'll prepare one more account called accumulated depreciation account. So what are the journal entries? Here, for charging depreciation, we are going to charge it through the provision account. So depreciation account debit to provision for depreciation account. A separate account is created. In the similar manner, at the end of the year, as it is, we'll transfer the depreciation to profit and loss account. Profit and loss account debit to which account? To depreciation account. These entries will guide you to solve the problem. Of course, the second method, again I say, it is not there in our syllabus. But having the knowledge about the content of the syllabus and the subject is very important. Those who are planning to do your CA and all, that time this method is very important. So it is very essential for everyone to go through both the methods of recording depreciation. Now, coming towards the different methods of charging depreciation. Different methods of charging depreciation. There are various methods here. Various methods are there. Like as you can see on the blackboard, that is on the screen, straight line method we have, diminishing balance method we have, annuity method we have, insurance policy method, sum of digits method, machine flow method, revaluation, depletion and depreciation fund method. But from your examination point of view, for your syllabus, we are given only the problems on first two methods. As I told you in the problem model also. One is straight line method and diminishing balance method. A doubt may come in the mind. Sir, what about the remaining methods? Remaining methods you are going to study in your upcoming degree level. When you will go for your professional courses and all, you are going to learn those methods. So, this is the first session which we have done. And what we have discussed? What we have discussed here. In this session, we saw the meaning of depreciation. We saw the need for depreciation. We saw what were the causes for depreciation. Along with that, we saw the features of depreciation. And very important point, what we have discussed is what are the different concepts or the terms related with depreciation. Now, having discussed all this, let us take few important assignment which you have to work out here, because your focus is to have a very good mark in your upcoming 21 exam, that is IPE. So here the most expected questions are, first one, like 2 marks, what you can expect. You can expect the meaning of depreciation. You can expect amortization. You can expect obsolescence and depletion. And already in the PPTs, I have given you the enough content. That content you can write as it is, you can revise and write. Apart from that, here I gave you the another 2 questions, like what are the 4 causes for depreciation, and any 4 methods of charging depreciation. Any 4 methods of your choice you can write, whether straight line, annuity, depreciation fund, whatever you want, 4 methods you can write. Then when it comes to 5 marks, usually we expect the question called explain the need for providing depreciation. Explain the need for providing depreciation. So this is the content for this session. Hope you are going to revise it once again and you will make it clear this particular session by telling the beautiful quotation which was given by Albert Einstein. What Albert Einstein said? Education is not the learning of facts, but the training of mind to think. For that reason, keep in mind, it is training of mind to think. It carries lot of message here. Training of mind to think. And what to think now? We gave you the assignment. You have to think on that assignment, because education is what I told, learning of facts. Not only what the content is given in syllabus. No, never restrict your growth to the syllabus given. Try to go beyond the syllabus. Hope you all have enjoyed this session. We'll meet you in the next session. Till that, have a great time and have a blessed day. Thank you. God bless you all.